Evan? End messages. Yeah. Excited to share. Thing. Such. Now pin messages. YouTube chat. I guess that's pretty cool. Okay. Ready. All right. Good morning. I am a couple minutes behind this morning, but we're ready to get going now. For anybody that might be new, first, hello and welcome. Thanks for checking this out. My name is Tim. I go by Foamy Guy on GitHub and Discord. I typically stream around this time every week on Saturdays, starting about 10 a.m. Central Time, and usually I'm working on stuff related to CircuitPython. You can learn more about CircuitPython at the main website here, circuitpython.org, if you're interested in learning more about the project. It is essentially a version of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers, such as, for instance, this one here, which is a Adafruit FunHouse. In this case, it's kind of underneath a metal shield here. It's also a bit dim and not super well lit at the moment, so it's perhaps a bit difficult to see on the live cam. You can actually see all these devices that support CircuitPython over here. Oh, interesting. I wonder if are these still in order of the downloads? Lego one had shot up. FunHouse is what we have right now. Here we go. So this one has the main chip inside of it, and essentially that is a microcontroller, and it supports CircuitPython, which means when we plug it into the computer via the USB cable over here, it shows up like a thumb drive. We can edit some Python code files on that thumb drive, and the microcontroller, the computer inside of here, will execute Python code for us. In particular, this FunHouse device has a bunch of stuff built in, like a display, a couple of buttons, a couple of capacitive touch points, speaker, some other stuff, NeoPixels, all kinds of things on this thing. Some sensors. The main chip has Wi-Fi on it, which is one of the main reasons why I'm using it today. So this particular device actually supports all kinds of things. CircuitPython generally runs on 433 different devices, and there are a whole range of different features and form factors and things that are supported. So not all the devices have all the same things. You can find them all listed here on the downloads page. Yeah, that's what this is all about. I will say thank you to Adafruit. We already have their website pulled up conveniently. Adafruit designed and manufactured this FunHouse device, which is the device I'm using. Adafruit also is the company that is primarily providing the financial backing for CircuitPython. CircuitPython is an open source project, but CircuitPython is paid for by Adafruit by way of paying developers to work on it. There's a team of folks who work on the project full time. And folks like me who work on the project part-time and are paid by Adafruit to do so. So thank you to them. And if you want to help support the project, one of the ways you can do that is just head over to adafruit.com and purchase hardware from there. They got microcontrollers like the FunHouses. They also got all kinds of things you can plug into your microcontrollers to interface with and do stuff with. How's it going, Dexter? Good morning. And DJ Devin as well. So Today, I am getting back around to FunHouse IoT dashboard. I've done a little bit of work on this since the last time that I worked on it on stream, which was last week or the week before. I don't recall exactly when I did. I think we tacked it on at the end of a different stream where I had worked on something else. One thing I do probably need to do is close it. Other tab. Let me close that, because this one does. Because it connects via WebSocket, which we'll get into in a little bit. And the thing about it is I'm pretty sure there's only one available WebSocket. So if we have a tab randomly over there connected, then we are not going to be able to connect this one, or stuff's going to get on us. I should rename the URL. That is one thing I should do today for sure. I keep going to the root and it not being there and me being surprised, but not for very long, since I've done it several times. Go ahead and go with the blind your eyes mode for a bit. So the comment on PR, is that splitting? No. Those are just 3 different devices. Independent tests, I just ran 3 different devices with that branch. Not all 3 at the same time. Certainly not all 3 from the same device. So what I have set up so far is a little kind of like very basic IoT dashboard kind of thing. We have a stack of 4 panels across the top with some high level kind of like live stats from the sensors. This device, the FunHouse, has a temperature, humidity sensor. It also has a pressure sensor, and it does also have a light sensor as well. So those are all live and updating as long as you stay connected to the WebSocket. So if I do things like touch the temperature sensor, we can influence the way not only the live data here, but also the charts down below you can see. And so yeah, charts I kind of spoiled the charts without really mentioning them first, but obviously you can see them. So we have charts that kind of update as well from the same data here that chart the last, I don't know, 30 seconds, maybe 30 readings or something like that. And then the other thing we have is down here, which is a table, which is currently empty. But if I press the buttons, that as well. More responsive than I thought, although not this part. The table is actually pretty bad. We want this to still be a row. Not great. That's all right. We'll for now. There we go. That is. So the table down here gets new rows each time some other events happen. Right now, the only other events are the buttons. There's 3 buttons along the side of the display there. Those are sending events with rows and fell actions, which are the terminology used by the debouncer library, which is what it's using to read them. That is indicating when the signal for the button rose and fell. And so in my case, when I press it down, the signal rises, and when I release it, the signal falls. So my buttons are, I guess, pulled down, and then when I press them, when I click them, they get pulled high by connecting to the high voltage pin, and then once we release them, they go back to being down. That's pretty much all we have. It's not a whole lot, and I don't intend to add a whole lot more to it, but I do have a few things in mind. A couple of them are just little bits of cleanup and kind of finishing touches, like the light sensor here should have a light bulb instead of a finger, and it should be yellow. So that's an easy one. Let's do that. Oops, font awesome. I really wanted this. Oh, why do we have Willy Wonka here? That's interesting. Hear it though. Light bulb. We want the free. Filled in or not filled in. We could also use lightning or sun. Sun actually. And sun and awesome for having related concepts on the same page. We do still have the choice of filled in or not filled in. So do we want filled in, not filled in? It's a lot like Adafruit.io. Would love to have a local version. Yeah, that's exactly kind of the concept. Is it's certainly not as adaptable. You can't, like, you need to edit HTML code if you want to be modifying what it's showing here. There's no clean, pretty drag and drop, set up your dashboard, that kind of stuff. Like, doesn't have that layer of kind of dynamic ability on it, but it is very much the idea I was going for, was like a way that you can connect across the local network and get a very similar experience as Adafruit.io. It does use WebSockets instead of MQTT, so it is a bit fundamentally different on its kind of communication protocols as far as its real-time, like the data that's being streamed back here when we get new readings and stuff like that, as well as here, as well as these actions here are all WebSockets as opposed to MQTT, which is what Adafruit.io uses. I think we probably go filled in, because it looks like we have filled in water, and I guess there was probably a non-filled in water. So let's try to keep it a little bit consistent. Then we can grab, we just need the class, but I guess copy it. So this stuff is on the device, inside templates, inside of this file, FunHouse IoT dashboard. How's it going, Johnny? Good morning. As well as Ty, also, how's it going? What's running on the software stack-wise for graphing? Yeah, let me show you that. Let me put this in real quick before I forget, and then I will show you that. So this is the finger icon. FAs, temperature, droplet, and point up. Okay. We are going to use that one here in a minute, but I guess I'll just erase it because I think this is copied. I do want this to be yellow. That warning, maybe? So we have Bulma. That's part of the software stack that's loaded up here. We have Bulma in the mix, which is a CSS framework, CSS front-end framework. There we go, which happens to have some colors built in. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, so the charts. It is chart.js, I'm pretty sure. Let me say really where this came from. I don't know if a weird URL. I don't know. Let's try Google. Okay, well, I failed to go to Google first, or I used Google. I used DuckDuckGo wrong, and I actually just went straight to here. So I guess we consider our risky click of the day as successful. Could have gone worse. I started from this Bulma. Well, no, I didn't use View. I guess Bulma Viewify, Bulma Dashboard. Yeah, I started from one of these. I think it was just Bulma. I don't know how you get to it right now, I guess. This feels like it should be a button. It's not, and that's slightly offensive. But it's cool because they released a bunch of cool templates, so I give them a pass. I don't want the view one. Bulma admin template? Bulma HTML. That is what I started from right there. The free template, Bulma HTML. And it had similar stuff. It didn't have 2 charts, and it had 3 of these instead of 4, and it had some more stuff. But this is what I started from. I will drop the link to that in the chat, and then also the chart specifically we can take a closer peek at, which I think it is chart.js. So the way the charts work is From this file, it just loads external, I'm pretty sure, chart. So we create some space on the page for it. We create a canvas for it. But that's the only thing. Yeah, chart.js. The only thing that's in HTML. We load chart.js from Cloudflare, and then we also load chart FunHouse locally, which is in here, which looks up the canvas and creates chart from chart.js, and it has data sets, and then you can dynamically add to these lists, and then each time you do, it will update the chart. Actually, each time you do, you have to call update, which is not in this file. So this file initializes the two charts, and then main.js over here has the initializer for the WebSocket, which is actually where the rest of the action happens. We have incoming WebSocket message by the name. You can probably guess that's going to get called when a WebSocket message comes in. The actual WebSocket setup and stuff is down here, but this is where we're more interested in. When we get a sensor reading, we grab the temperature, we set the text inside of this thing to be whatever came in for, you know, all three or all four of them. And then we add to the charts. Chart data sets, you can just push a new value into there. We do that for each one. We have two different data sets on the first chart, temperature and humidity. Then we have only one data set on the second chart, which is light. And then we also have that action there to shift it once we get to 30 so that it doesn't just keep adding more and more. And then, yeah, you have to call update, otherwise it actually does not show. Take a while to figure out. It seems pretty cool. I've used chart.js in a few other places, but not like extensively directly. It's always been stuff like this where it came in through a template I found. Okay. One thing is when the device resets, which right now I have auto reload on, which is the default value on my microcontroller. When the device resets, it disconnects the WebSocket, which means it no longer is updating this. That's one of the other things we could work on right now, actually. So inside main, we should have a callback. Yeah, on error. No, we should have a on close right here. Function close. All this. When it gets closed, and then I guess we can try to reopen. How do we do that? Create a new something. Closed. There's closed. Very shouty. Oh. Yes, WebSocket reconnect. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. Yeah. I guess that. So basically we need to put all this stuff, function, connect, all this stuff inside connect. But WS is different. WS is. You did var to get it. Could I use let WS but put it out here? WS, so we'll create it. We'll do all the same stuff like this. Is it gonna be weird that we're reassigning the same functions? Fine, right? And then when we get to here, it's doing a set timeout, which I should probably do also. Set timeout, just call it again, set timeout. Do 10 seconds, 1 second. We should do more than 1 second because it takes longer than that for the thing to reboot and be ready. And we don't really want to spam it too hard while it's trying to boot. So maybe let's try like 5. And we'll be able to tell if it works because we'll start getting more stuff in the chart. Know if it's reminds me my Netflix tab was aware of a change in network state. I wonder if I could use that event to reconnect after the onboard hotspot. Wi-Fi access point reappears. My device also joins home Wi-Fi. Station plus repole available server if connected rather than. Yeah. If I'm understanding correctly, I think I would agree in that it's nicer, I think, to watch for your requests to fail rather than specifically like your network to be disconnected. I never called connect the first time, so it's not gonna connect the. Could do that from. Wait, I am like not gonna know the part. Wow, this file has semicolon. But a lot of this stuff is not mine, right? A lot of this came in from all the code I wrote has. I think they're optional. How it works. You have to do something to. I mean, I know they are functionally optional because the browser is very resilient to weird code, both HTML and JS. Is it like correct to omit them without doing anything else? Or correct to omit TypeScript? Actually, I can look at the camera to see when the server's ready. Oh wow, those icons are. That's kind of on me because it started as 3 and I made it 4. We need to, honestly, what we should do is just. It should change to put the icon on top of the word. I don't know that I'm going to go that far into that part of it. Definitely not one of my fortes. Probably should. Maybe we'll give it an attempt. Yeah, if we took the icons from there to be like up here, once we get down to outside, basically, down to there-ish. That would basically work for us all the way down to here. Once we get down to here, it actually looks good again. Oh, right, we already saw it. So we need to trigger it to reset. So I guess I'm just going to connect automatically. Oh, actually, yeah, it did. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. In auto, and indeed, it looks like it's happening again. I don't know why it got stuck that time. Load it, yeah, it did. It reloaded again. So I have auto reload on, and there's something on my computer that's a bit trigger happy with writing files. Exactly what it is. It writes files. And a lot of my devices, I turn auto reload off while I'm working on development. Mobile. I would like some margin between some minor detail, but remember top of my gonna be is margin is M6 is M6 got a lot of those. M dash M say M brush. That's better, but I won't lie. The fact that these don't line up, it's the next. Don't we really get margin on the right of not? That's our missing piece right there. We had gotten our margin on this. Important. Yes, I mean it says we have it, but a hard refresh. No. Boy, that's weird. Times stand. I put M4. So I guess is my problem that we overlap. Do I need like, should I do only margin? Middle margins are overlapping, and then that's putting us too far, but we don't. gap is just really small, but we still don't have edge. Correct. So we needed, so really the margin is 4. Actual margin is 4, but using 2 works for us because it gave us 2 from each added up to 4, which, although I guess different than still. Probably it's over there. It's literally not over there. Look at it. It's gone. So weird. Why is it anchored to the right? On light is offset correct. Well, no. Margins are definitely right side of the. I mean, we could put a padding in the parent. I don't get it. Like this freaking difference. Margin right, just there. Because we have columns. I guess I could put a padding on columns. Okay. Padding on columns. Then our okay. It doesn't line up with these ones. I guess is that because they're 3 maybe? Graph bodies have a minimum width. I do not know. They are a canvas, but I don't know the rules of. Back to not having it on the side. That's just bleeding outside of its. Was I seeing things? I guess. Do we not? Seeing things? Did not. It did like. Let's try for. Like for it to line up with. We're screwing ourselves on this side too. So by trying to make this gap be the same as this gap, I'm pushing this thing further to the right, and that's screwing our padding on that side. this matters. Section. Go into the extra parent doesn't matter. So basically get like I mean, I could try, is there just a straight width on the canvas? I don't really know who or what's in control of the width of the canvas. I mean, I would say I kind of assume inline. Oh, it just has a width. Fair enough. Man, width. Stranger that something has taken it down. Right, there's X padding. That's I don't know. What's weird is this chart used to be the full size. There used to only be one chart, and then I made there be two charts, and the chart got smaller to fit inside of its parent. And this chart is also small and fits inside of its parent. So, like, most of the way it behaves pretty much how I'm expecting. But just this bit out here, the fact that we don't get any padding on this side, I have no idea why. And I don't fight it. So I think that, one thing I wanted to try and do was paginate these things. Yeah, that's true. In terms of reloading. This says it's just put on the. I mean, is there? I don't. Well, that's weird. So this really had its own height and width declared in two places, and they were different numbers. Okay. So they're no longer the size they were, but also there still is no padding on the side. And I guess I took it out at this point. Did margin right. I mean, we have padding on the parent. Should be affect the padding on the parent. We're clearly growing outside our parent on that right edge. So of all those sizes, really height seems like the only one that mattered, right? Because we took all those sizes off and now there's no height on our stuff. So I guess pictures. Weird that the original code put it as HTML attributes in CSS and that they were two different values. You know what might be nice is if we could be just a hair shorter so that you could kind of fit the whole thing without scrolling. Or does if we cut a little bit of JavaScript comment on here. Same one. And 21. One CD. So I guess if we do Well, they're not JavaScript comments. They just don't have HTTP on them. I've seen stuff like this. I don't know why people do this. I don't think it works. Yeah, tried one day. Oh, right. I served the... this back through. Through GitHub. I think just because it was like a relatively large file. That's the main CSS that came from the template, basically. This thing that query. Slash adhere current HTTP schema. Credit with file. Testing. We're trying it at some point in it now. Very confused. That is interesting. I mean, why do they support that, honestly? Why don't they just only support HTTP? I am pulling that CSS file with... Does it work? There, we... It's redirecting me anyway. Oh, but my... Yeah, but my page actually is HTTP, so... I would rather all that other stuff load with HTTPS, though. No, I don't know how you want it to match. File, the domain can't be accessed on... Yeah. Doesn't work with... It's interesting. It works like that you can use it for either, but I don't. If you're allowed to use HTTPS inside there, I feel like I'm sure there's some not. We need our link from here with this one there. I do. Holy. Then initialize your chart, but I don't know if it's gonna work for mine because no data in the table when it first loads. I think this thing updates automatically. I think we're gonna have to tell it to update after we add stuff. Our WebSocket ID event table. Okay. I think that means a CSS failed or something. Tried to load. Oh, I missed the colon. Missed a colon. This stuff means it loaded some part of it. Did it reload after I saved? Not in the list. Seems like it worked, I guess. Did it? No, I mean, this still looks... I mean, I guess it looks better than it did, but it's... That's probably how it's supposed to... That's weird, though. Why would it not be in here? Development is weird to me sometimes. Valid? But it didn't show fail either. Okay, there it is. I don't know. I probably just didn't see it. You seem to have broke the WebSocket? Server to load or something? Thinks it's... Oh. Server poll. Catch that. Broken up into tasks, which basically all have a poll function. Server task. Server.poll as well, and we will. Okay if we don't crash. It's mess. I move the import. Put data tables on top. We load chart or main.js, but both say diverse. I'm using the FunHouse. Not defined. We failed to initialize. Stop this. Failed to initialize the chart because this chart's not defined. Means our loading of work. Okay, so I am back in this place where jQuery data table CSS just not in this list. Also main.min.css just not in this list. Just didn't load. Didn't load. Even though all the styles from it are applied, it didn't load. What? I don't understand what is happening. Times web development. Okay, so beyond main CSS and jQuery data CSS not being listed in here, also chart.js not listed in here. And chart.js, unlike the other two, is also seemingly just not actually loaded because when we go to try to use it, this fails. I add defer to this one? And that's breaking it? If you defer, do they still go in order? But even regardless of the order, why is there no like a listed here? Frustrating. Troubleshooting perspective. Like, how do I start troubleshooting why my stuff is not loading if I can't even find evidence that it's trying to load it? Is this like, are we race condition? If I just add a stupid wait, is that gonna hit again? We need am I missing a document ready type thing? Used any document readies, I don't think. But even aside from whether that's a race condition that could cause it to not be loaded yet. Not be loaded yet. What? Not be loaded yet is a different question from just doesn't ever attempt to load. Are we getting stuck? Failing to beat this. I'll click. Does that make a difference if you F5 versus click reload? I don't know. They're just not listed. CSS files and also chart.js again is just I don't know if this thing clears or are we looking at the old one? Or not? Well, that says little chart not defined. Actually, big chart. It really started loading failed. Now I think I crashed it. If you reload while it's already like it can only respond to one thing at once. So if you start mashing the refresh button too much because you're frustrated because you can't understand why it's just not attempting to load half of the files that it needs for it to work, you can get it into a broken state. This did not actually catch though. Okay, this didn't matter. This didn't matter. Let's get this out of here. Undo this. Get all of this out. Go away. Oh, this one was in the WebSocket. In that case, I don't know if we... I don't think it... We might want to set our WebSocket to null. I don't know if that's an indication that we're disconnected or if like maybe it's just an indication that one transmission failed. Possible. Suddenly I have a way longer list. Is that true? No, it's just multiple copies. But still none of the files that we're missing are showing up. Still missing. So I'm going to control F5 because that's hard refresh and that should make it fetch everything, which indeed does show main. So that's good. And not chart though, right? No chart. We have this my file, but no chart.js. This has already started spamming too fast, but somewhere, yeah, we'll have big C chart not defined. Because the chart.js is... Okay. This is not a link, which seems suspicious. It's not red. What is broken? Ah, I don't. Does view source make a separate request? Server. Okay, we're good. Yeah, just me wrecking it by adding the script out of script tag. Because I copied it from that CDN that did. This I think is just auto reload that happens. Okay. The tables, data tables are gone now. Comparing. So the tables are not actually fixed. Graphs are not. Broken pipe on 32. And yeah, our try catch here should probably be bigger, and I guess we should also catch broken pipe. We already have this try. We have run. Okay, let's just catch OS error, broken pipe error. I don't know, I guess. So broken pipe definitely sounds not gonna be. Less error, like that one looked a little bit more like a timeout, like that one. Okay, have data, it's drawing charts, have data tables. That's good. Both of those are related to the same thing, which was that we just had JavaScript that crashed it. Now we have a table, and we have 10. So if I press the button 5 times, that will get us all the way to 10. I don't think the data tables is working actually, because it doesn't know there's 10 things. So I think it's actually just going to add 2 more and not bother paginating it. I don't think it paginated it, right? 6023, was that what was there before? Yeah, it's just adding more. Not pag. I think we need to call data tables dot something. Update. Not doing Ajax exactly, but what we're doing is we're actually passing HTML through the WebSocket, then just plopping that into the table. Section. source. It's actually using Ajax, the thing. I want to be able to like be able to just data. Should have just started guessing stuff. But that says Ajax reload. Ajax. Draw. I'm pretty sure draw might. So Ajax reload, I think, might be only for if you loaded your data through Ajax using the Ajax inside the constructor of this, not using your own custom Ajax code separately. Or similar to what we're doing. In our case, it's not actually. So we have table. Can I just say table dot draw? Add a okay. Paginating? Alright, I picked up the pronunciation of that word from. Started as pagination. Pagination and sounds more like pageant. Page. I will try, but my subconscious definitely still says paginating. No longer. Added a TR table body. Okay. Through them. Yeah, auto reloaded. I feel like the delete button is bigger. Oh, and our rows are striped. Yeah, I think it's working actually. So that did work. I shouldn't have been such a negative Nancy on the Ajax update. That seems like it's working actually. So the true test will be if we go past 10. So we have 2, 4, we have 8 right now. So one more click will get us to 10. Oh, but I don't know. This still says 0. And this still says no data. Five two six. I didn't look last time. 526 is still there, so it's adding more. Oh, and as a neat trick, our data is gone if we change the size of the table. So that's um. Thing. I don't have any of that stuff though. Can instruct data tables using data given to the data option. Row.add. Row. Problem is, this is wanting data. What I have is DOM element. You can also use a jQuery object for the data parameter. Now that's probably doable. So right now we're doing insert adjacent HTML. We could do table.rows.add, table.row.add. Then if this can actually be a jQuery, I think we can make a jQuery by just doing this. Giving it this. And then this says draw. I think is actually chains, so I do not need that. It's so weird that the styling took effect, but the okay, nice. Upvote for that person. Wait, where did I see that? Bulk out docs. That came. Thank you, and Does it add it to the top? I did want it to add to the top. They add to the bottom, actually. Can I pass more stuff to that? I pass an index? It says data. I'll add a single row. Add. So, I mean, one thing I could do is order, I guess. If I turned this on, it's actually the order I want, then they'd probably be in the right order? Yeah. So if I tell it to sort by the column that I want, which is column index 0, 1, then it will do what I want. Or how to do it when you initialize it. So I've been navigate the tables plus order. Sorting order. Order, and then you can give it a list of what I'll call a tuple, but it's actually which contains an index and an ascending or a descending. And if you pass multiple things, then you can order by multiple columns. I'm calling new data table, passing it tag for the thing. This is calling jQuery, look up the thing, and then little d data table that, which then it wants to be object. Wrong. My preference should have quotes. I want descending because those are dates. Technically, they're monotonic times, but my goal is to make them dates. Descending. It's a little bit 50 here. Is it going to be DESC? Is it going to be DSC? DESC. Working on solar project. Mounting 5-watt, 5-volt solar cell to the house to power a Ring camera. Assemble the soffit at it. Sunshine time so I can measure clarity before connecting. Okay. Yeah, take it easy, DJ Devin. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. Have fun with that. Be careful. So I guess 5 volts sounds pretty cool. Order 1. Okay, let's just at the top. Auto relay. Wrong time. Back wrong. Uh-oh. Row undefined. Because now we don't. Now we don't. This one uses jQuery lookup big D data table. So there's 3 ways you can. Is this return? I mean, we tried to catch. Table is. Table.row. It'd be hard because it's spamming the. Probably get. Is an object. Table is the jQuery. jQuery lookup on the element. No longer the data table. So how do I get an instance of the table if I use the other way? Is that what the other one of this is? That does it give me back the table object, jQuery object? Yeah. Okay, new ones are on top. Actually, page, we're at 10 right now, so the next press should start a new page. I think that time I did. Now have our older ones. I don't know if I actually do want to support removing. Change the order after the fact. Redraw. How do we remove? Found row add? Delete the selected row from the data table. This parents tr. Okay, so you give it, you say table.row, and you can actually give it jQuery object of the tr. Then you can call remove. My deletes are what? Are coming from that row. Last. Have a div? I don't know how parents work. I need to call parents twice. So one thing is, I don't know. We apply the click list when we create the row. Not sure. When we click a delete button, say table.row, we want to pass it the this.parents.tr. Maybe we need to do div and then parents implies that it will keep going up the chain, right? Parents tr, we pass that to row, then we call remove, then we call draw. That actually works, then I think the click listener is not going to actually attach to the buttons since they're not existing at the time. Click listener. Even though it reloaded, it actually, because we have our reconnect code, it should also do buttons too. As long as you don't press buttons while it's trying to do its reload. Sensor. I'm gonna comment out some of spam. That was. Yep. Oh, no action. function and call the function every time we add a row. If I stop saving files, I'll actually stop won't just reload itself randomly. What it does is like be like 30 or 40 seconds after I save a file. So because I keep changing it while I'm looking. It's like that broke it. Oh, type error. Websockets. Wonder if working now. Yeah. So we actually did recover. So those catch blocks helped us that time. Got back to a running state without restarting. Okay. Things that might be nice, like a little bit of padding. Padding. It'd be nice. Maybe the search box too. It's kind of cool because you can also do this action. All of only. One would be like a clear all. I don't know if I want to. I feel like it should have a confirm. Don't really want to make confirmation dialog right now. I'm gonna call. Okay, so let me try one more thing. Try adding one more thing to this. I think I'll wrap it up for the day. So I want to add, I have buttons working inside this button task, and I want to have touch. In order to do that, we need and we say touch IO. 7 and let's say button self.touch, say just name either number, touch 6, touch 7, touch 8. And I actually have a debounced one. Sir. Give it a touch. Pipestone. Value. RO. That's probably supposed to mean a thing that has a value property. But types aren't. Have touch 6, bounce. So now that's created, that's on our hardware interface, but if we wanted to do anything, we need to actually do something with it. So in the buttons task, what I'm going to do is make a new one of these. Touch event. Take touch. Everything else can stay the same for now. Touch event. So this just creates a dictionary, which we will then use to render a template of the table row. Basically comes from so one thing is we will need to look to what was that hand? What? I don't. And point up. I mean, I guess I could do the like unfilled, like I could do a touch up, touch down. If it is a touch, then this icon, if it's a button, the dot icon. Rest of this, time, pin, and action, that's all going to be the same. action. Yeah, we'll color rows and then this hardware dot touch bounced. And we don't want button event, we want touch. I suppose theoretically we could make a thing just called like event object and then pass another here for the only difference between touch event and button event is just make a more generic one that accepted type. Touch. Okay, so button, unknown type. The one thing with the auto reconnect, I wonder if one of the reasons we got it to the broken states was the auto reconnect of our old page instance tried to reconnect at the same time when I pressed F5, which then started us trying to load the new page instance. itself then tries to connect another socket. That time I might have actually just side thinks it finished loading, but side does not think it. Oh, now it does. Having a lot of trouble. Yeah, I wonder, I kind of think maybe that our retry logic on the WebSocket might actually be up. If it comes through at just the right time, see it, very pleased. Like right now our WebSocket's broken. Something is broken. Earn. Getting that's from before. Now we got. Maybe we should have a button for reconnect, so the user can try to reconnect, but make that automatic, or else the option would be down right. Our buttons. Moment of truth does our absent work. Oh, you know what though? I didn't call update on the debouncer. Have to side. That's going to be inside button task.pull. Call update on all of the bouncers. Otherwise, values. Keep missing audio bits, maybe when talking quietly occasionally or the laptop is struggling. It's probably me. Yeah, no, it's probably me. I am leaning back and talking more quietly, and it has, the OBS has audio ducking or whatever. It will automatically cut out if I get too quiet. There we go. Cap 6 touch and release. Cool. Search here. You can button or sensor. Okay, so there are 3 more of those. 6, 7, and 8 were the pin numbers, and then there's also the tree. On this side over here, which also has, I think, maybe 4 other capacitive pads throughout it. And it kind of can act as like a seek bar or a progress bar type thing. You can move your finger up and down. Slider on the right of the FunHouse. Sorry. Okay, yeah, no worries. The slider, it's not currently, that part is not set up, but it does work the same. So in order to set it up right now, the only thing we would have to do is just copy paste the stuff we just implemented. But we would want to swap out the pins, well, if we want the whole tree, oh, it's actually 5, not 4. If we wanted the whole tree, it would be 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And those are the 5 pads that make up the tree. Let me do the other 2 birds, actually. I'm going to do the other 2 birds, I think, and then wrap it up. So that was cap 6. We have cap 7 and 8. I need to put them on here. Now that we have one, it's basically copy paste. I won't do the whole tree. I'll do the birds. Yeah, you could do brightness, you could do volume, that kind of stuff. For I think is the that. Yeah, and I will say too, the dashboard is not. It's meant to be mostly a demo slash exercise of the HTTP server and the WebSocket capabilities more than it is meant to be practical. So I'll pipe these events through to the dashboard, but I also don't really have grand visions on like it to control anything besides making this dashboard that outputs state of the hardware peripherals. But good news is, like, once the code is out there, people can take it and make whatever they want with it. So we have it on our hardware. So now we need to, did I do all those right? Cap 8, cap 7, yeah, touch. Okay, we should be good there. So then on our buttons task, we need to just add, first of all, 2 more of these. And then 2 more of these. The templating engine that's rendering the rows as well as the initial page load. The other thing I was attempting to kind of like both exercise and show off with this project. Off like what you can do with it, basically. Okay, so we've got 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. And then we called update on 7 and 8, so we should be good. Yeah, see, I saw the charts move again, but then it was like just a split second before I refreshed, and now we're stuck. I think that auto reconnect code, while it is kind of nice, I think it might wreck us sometimes. We basically got these two like real close to each other. I don't think it can more than one. I don't think it likes it. Try to inside try to have it. We did manage to recover and actually disconnect. Ooh, that's a little bit weird. I'm not actually touching it, so I don't know why it's got. Oh. So there is, I think, a there's like a setting or something you can do. Oh yeah, that's. I think there's like a kind of configuration setting type thing you can do, like sensitivity or something. My best guess is that I need to tweak that value and that maybe my kind of clammy finger left enough of a like residue really print or figuring out a little bit. But I do think there's like a value you can past to kind of like. I'm going to turn that reconnect off for now because it's not doing, it's doing more harm than lives. Would need a more. Maybe a button. Got one. But now we no longer have that reconnect code, so I have to refresh this time. But because we don't have the reconnect, we're not running the risk of colliding our HTTP request with our WebSocket. Did get a cap 7. 8. It's not going all crazy. Cap touches levels. So what you can do is like you can print out the raw value while you touch it, let go, and then see what kind of range, and then you set the threshold somewhere. I don't even. See. Really need this one. So I guess I'm going to copy the CSS. I'm going to leave the old one there also because part of the page really should. I think except image. So our CSS is there. We want to keep it so the link stays active, but it's also copied here. Have our version art. Row. CodePy. All right, we're updating that. I am going to head out for now. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. And next time, I be back next week at the same time, I believe, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central. So I'll see you then if you're interested. Otherwise, see you later and have a good one. Thanks.